Hi guys, welcome to my trade review for Monday the 25th of July 2022. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend, and yeah, hope that you were ready to trade the markets today. Hope you guys done well. Before I start the trade review, if you guys could like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. Have you guys join on and keep up to date with my trade reviews that I do Monday to Friday. And yeah, with that, let's get into the trade review for today. So if we head over to the SPY, as you can see, we had that move last week, that move over the 50 MA, over the pivots, very bullish move. Friday we had that move down, which is what we expected. Today was the day that I wasn't sure if we were going to head a bit lower and hit that 50 MA, or we were going to move higher today. And as you can see, we've put in an inside day today, which is totally expected. I could have seen a move lower today and hit the 50 MA, but yeah, inside day is no problem at all. And if we go to the Qs, same here. The Qs had more of a move back to the 50 MA. So the SPY, I expected to have that inside day. The Qs, as you can see, it broke under the low of day. The low of day moved lower, but now it's starting to come back up. So I would expect over the next couple of days, I would expect a move lower, bounce off the 50 MA and then move higher. Just because as the move's so big right here, you expect that move back to recover, 50% retracement about here, and then that move higher. That's what you expect, but not sure. The markets have been quite strong lately, so we could see a couple of days of rest like today, and then maybe tomorrow, and then a break over this high here on the daily, and then you've got that move up higher. So we'll see what happens. So inside day really for today is what I had for both of them. The Q's a little bit bearish, obviously, because it broke under the low of day yesterday. Had quite a few for the longs, quite a few for the shorts. WWE, Ryanair. Ryanair was difficult because the volume's not great on the daily. Maximize right here. So it had this really nice move break. It was gapping over this red bar on Friday. I was looking to trade it over this pivot right here. But then the problem is it's heading straight into that 50 MA on the blue line. That was the concern, but good gap. The volume, I like to trade stuff that does about 1 million shares a day. And as you can see on Ryanair, 1.1 million that day, 600,000, 500,000, 590,000. So it's not great when it comes to volume. And obviously, if it doesn't have the required volume we need, you're going to struggle to get in and out of stocks, which is obviously going to cause you to get slippage. So if you want to get in at 60, you might get in at 60.10, and then you're going to get slippage on the exit, and then obviously that eats into your profits and eats into your losses as well, and that's not what you want to be doing. So had it on my list, but really wasn't looking to trade it. Sigga was nice, Rio, CNC. We had some nice moves from certain stocks. They were gapping up and whatnot, but it's just more of that, really focus on relative strength, relative weakness today, just because of how the markets were, where they were at. And obviously the Qs, I was just expecting that little bit move lower. But as you can see on the SPY, let's pull up the 2 minute. This is what the SPY's done today. Had a move down when the market opened, moved back up, came back down, double bottom. So here's the low, came up, came back down, and as soon as it touched the low that it previously set, we had a green bar, came back up, came back down, hit that point again. That's your triple bottom, and then we look at that as quite a bullish move, because once it's hit, come back up, bounced on it for the second time, it's showing you that buyers are stepping up at that support area, and you would see people then buying into it because they're going, okay, people are there stopping that stock from going lower. We then expect that move up. That's what we got. We didn't quite get to the high of day over here, came back down, broke, consolidated, moved down, broke, so it's not been great today. It's not been great. if I'm honest. Qs, bit similar, but from what we were saying earlier, it was weaker. So it moved down, came up, moved lower, came up, went to break, couldn't quite manage it, broke out, consolidated and moved higher. So initially, that first hour, was it first hour? Nearly 2 hours, up to about 11:15. The Qs were looking lower, and then obviously they've rallied and they're starting to move higher. We only took one trade today, and that trade was on MU, Micron Technology. So start with the daily. So this is what we had. This is a level 3 gap, because it's not gapping over or under a pivot, is what we like to have on a gap. But as you can see, it had this nice move higher, hit the 50 MA, and as you can see, after the extended move up, so see all them green bars, this one red bar here, but quite a bullish move. It had that day Friday where it put in this top and tail, looked like it was going to go lower. So I traded it today under yesterday's low of day, with a look for it to go lower today. The problem is, because it's a level 3, we're not expecting a huge move on this, because there's no shock value. There's no, a lot of people aren't going, oh, I want to trade MU because it's an amazing stock to trade today. It's not. It's a level 3. So we were trading it under yesterday's low. It had room to move, but obviously you have to just be aware that it's not as good as a level 2, which is obviously gapping under or over a pivot. Let me just give you an example. It was, so look at SIGA today. SIGA was really nice. So look at the shock value on SIGA. It had this big red bar yesterday. Look at the volume today. That is telling you that people are interested in this stock. Had this big red bar yesterday. So obviously it was weaker than the market, because the markets went lower Friday. And then obviously on Friday for SIGA, it really dropped. And then today, it's gapping over that red bar. So if the sellers yesterday, I don't know why I keep saying yesterday, Friday, obviously today they're going to wake up and go, oh my God, I'm a seller, I want the stock to go short, and it's now gapping up. So what they're going to do, they're going to sell or buy that position back. So obviously if they've sold to go lower, they need to buy them shares back to give back to their broker. That's what you do when you short. You borrow them, you then sell the shares, and then as they go lower, you buy them back at a lower price, you make the difference, and then you give them back to your broker. So regardless, when you short, you have to buy them shares back to give them back. You don't own them. And as you can see here, SIGA moved up higher, so those people would then be looking to buy back because they're at a loss, and then because they're buying, that drives the stock up. So it's called a short squeeze, basically is what it's called, and it's where shorts get squeezed out of the position because it looks bullish. We were looking to trade it over this pivot right here, 1487. We got that, not the move we really wanted today, because as you can see, let's go to the 2 minute. July 25th, yeah. So we had the move higher, pulled back a bit more than 50%, about there, and then went higher. And then it's not been the greatest. I would have liked to have traded it today, but as you can see, it's not great. But that is a level 2 gap. So SIGA had that big red bar gapping over that pivot. That's level 2. You can be a bit more aggressive, where MU, because it's a level 3, it's not as great. Hold back and then just wait for relative weakness or relative strength. And that is exactly what we got today. Let's change that back to the 15. So you looked at the daily, it was a level 3 gap. This was the 2 minute. So right here, it went up, moved lower. Remember this bit right here. Yeah. Go to the Qs. Look what the Qs were doing. As the Qs came down, the Qs went right back up, nearly to the high of day right here. Look what MU done. Went lower, didn't come all the way back up. See, that retracement's about 35-40%. So it's telling me that it's weaker than the market. I liked that. I was looking to trade MU. The average trading range we gave it was $2. So not a great amount to trade it, but had relative weakness. As you can see, we had that 15-minute 3-bar play. Not a fan of the first wide range igniting bar to be a doji. Big wick at the top, big wick at the bottom. But we had the igniting bar, we had the resting bar, which is we got in at 60.62. Well, that's the entry, and then the stop was 61.18. So that's about, what's that, 46, about 60 cents. So we're looking for $1.20. I got in on an anticipation entry at 60.65, and then it eventually broke down. Let's go to the 5. We'll go to the 2. 2's a bit better. It broke down 65 right here. Broke down to, yeah, as you can see, it went down to 60.40, came back up, move lower. It's frozen. 2 secs. There we go. I don't know why it does that. It's annoying. So my 1 hour target was, I think it was 60. Let me just get this up quickly. The Excel spreadsheet. There it is. Calculations. And let's just put in what it was. I traded, so it was 60.62. 60.62, and it was 61.18. So 1R down here was 60.06 and 2R was 59.50. As you can see, let's move that across. We hit a low right here of 59.75, so we were 25 cents from target, but the high here was 61.83. That 2R average trading range was 59.83. So as you can see, we were asking just a little bit more of MU today than what we normally expect. About $2 it does on an average trading day. It got close. The problem is as the market, the Q started to rally higher, MU already at its average trading range was going to really struggle. And as it put in this double bottom right here, tried it once, tried it for a second time, moved higher, and then obviously we got stopped out up here at break even at 60.62. So it's a shame. MU was a nice trade. It had the weakness. It didn't have the range today, and I think that's what the problem was. If the Qs had gone lower today, I think MU had that weakness. We could have got to target. Hey ho, not a lot you can do about it, but it had the weakness, so I was happy to trade it. And then if you look here, we got out break even, but because we entered at 0.65, and then as it came down and then back up, we got out at 0.62, because that was the initial entry. We had 3 cents, so obviously that 3 cents netted us $2.67. And that's going to cover the trade, because commissions for trade 0 are 99 cents in and 99 cents out, so $1.98, and we made $2.67. So that's cool. And yeah, that's it really. I mean, not a lot else to say, other than we took a lovely trade on MU. The range was the problem, so I'm happy. MU done exactly what I expected it to do. It's just a shame that obviously the Qs here, they just rallied. See here, they put in a double bottom, and then they started to bounce higher. So that was the concern. That stopped us out. Other than that, I'm happy. Good day. Good start to the week. 4 days left of the month of July. So we'll see if we can make a bit of money. Close today, 25 cents from making $100. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So with that, I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, where hopefully we get our 2R target in our average trading range, and then obviously it just makes that a little bit easier to get to target, because obviously MU, as it came down here, it doesn't normally go much further. An average day is $2. Today it's done about $2.15, $2.20, so it done a little bit more, but obviously we were asking for like $2.40, so you know, it is what it is. So yeah, with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.